Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another quarterly update, quarter three of 2016, and brace yourselves because this is going to be a lot of information. It's been a very busy 3 months going on, and there's a lot to talk about. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. So first, let's go ahead and address the elephant in the room. That being my t-shirt I'm wearing. So some of you guys might know about this if you follow Twitter. Let's see if I can make sure I get it in there. That might be a little bit easier to see. So for those of you guys who follow Twitter, you probably already knew about the t-shirts because I've been talking about them for the last couple of weeks now. Actually, I think it's almost the last 2 months I've been talking about it. And for those of you who don't follow Twitter and you subscribe to the channel, this is your first time seeing it. So this is a t-shirt I designed. Now it's not anything that I plan on like merchandising and selling anytime soon at all. But I was somewhat shocked that when I did show the t-shirt off on the on Twitter, that a couple people were interested in whether or not I was ever going to sell some. So it's something that I can always think about, but not something that I fully have in mind just yet. But we'll see where things go in the future for that. But I got the t-shirt so I can wear it during streams and I can wear it to conventions and such. So it'll be pretty easy to spot me in a room. So if you follow my channel and you go to a convention involving, I don't know, strategy gaming, roguelikes, anything like that, it'll be pretty easy to spot me. Speaking of conventions, I want to talk a little bit about the Roguelike Celebration that just happened earlier the month of September. I think it was actually September 17th to be exact. Yeah, that sounds about right. So Roguelike Celebration was in San Francisco, and it was on a Saturday, and it was an absolutely amazing time. I was there. I flew all the way from New York to San Francisco just simply for the Roguelike Celebration, and I gotta say it was definitely more than worth it. I had a lot of fun. Some of the people I met the developer and creator of Cogmind. I met the developer of Caves of Cud, developer of Adom, one of the developers for Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup, and the creators of Dwarf Fortress were there. So that was really awesome. I got to meet them and take a picture with them, so that was really cool. And I also met Rogueliker. So for those of you who know that I'm doing the collaboration and have been following the collaboration with Dwarf Fortress, with Rogueliker, I actually met him at the Roguelike Celebration. We hung out the entire day, bouncing back and forth between the speak presentations going on and the different slideshows and stuff. So that was really cool and a really good time. And I had lunch with him and stuff, as well as some of the other developers. We all went and had lunch. So it was an awesome time. And I'll try to throw some pictures up in this video over my talking so you can see them. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, what else is worth talking about? So, yes, I've got my notes in front of me as usual. The channel trailer, as you might have noticed, for those of you keeping track and trying to keep me in line, I mentioned at the 1,000 subscriber milestone that I would have a channel trailer out to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. Well, if you haven't noticed, we've hit 1,500 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. But there's no new channel trailer. So here's the issue, and let me just go ahead and explain it all so you guys can kind of understand what happened there. I had a channel trailer put together using music and everything, and it was extremely awesome. I actually still have it on my computer right now. It was all ready to go. And I probably spent like a week on it. It's really awesome. But when I had originally asked the composer of the music if I could use the music, I got sort of like a yes you can, but then it was so foggy that after I put together the channel trailer, I was like, you know what, I better ask one more time, make sure it definitely is okay. And when I emailed the composer again, I got kind of like they weren't straightforward any of the time that I asked. Even the second time I asked, I got more of like a, well, I don't really know how to say it. Basically, it was a very like walked around the question kind of answer. So then I sent another email kind of clarifying like, so does this mean yes, I can use it? And I never got an email back. So then a month later, I emailed again saying, hey, just popping in to check and on my question, basically, is what I said, or something along those lines, and I never got a response back. And then I think 2 weeks after that, I sent one more email, didn't get a response back, and so basically now I don't want to use the new channel trailer with the music because I'm afraid that it might get a copyright strike or could cause some issues with copyright. So I do have a channel trailer put together, but now I'm not going to be able to use it. So that's the problem that happened. And then it's just been really hard for me to sit down and design a new channel trailer with new music, because I put a lot of time into that old channel trailer and it came out perfect and exactly what I envisioned I wanted it to be. And so it's been very hard for me to kind of picture something new. And so that's something I'm working on now. But I promise you guys I will get a new channel trailer out, and it's going to be amazing, and it's going to have amazing music and amazing clips of all of our great adventures together. And it's going to be a fantastic channel trailer, but it'll just take me a little bit of time to get back into it. But I do have music picked out for it and everything. So at this point, it just comes down to me finding the time to sit down and actually do the channel trailer. There's a lot more to talk about. I told you this is going to be a long one, so brace yourselves. So the next thing on the list here is talk a little bit about what you guys think about the 2 videos a day. So I mentioned a while back, the quarterly 2 update actually, that I was going to start doing 2 videos a day, and then I kind of got lazy and fell off of it. It wasn't so much I got lazy, it's just that I work a full-time job as well as doing YouTube. YouTube definitely doesn't, in fact, it pays nothing. I don't mind being transparent about that. I don't know how much you guys know, as subscribers and viewers, how much you actually know about how YouTube monetization and stuff works, but this isn't like a job for me. I know sometimes there's some confusion. Some of you guys think that I'm actually doing this for a living. I'm not. I do this for a hobby. I don't make any money from it. So I work a full-time job, a 10-hour job, 40-hour-a-week job, and that takes up a lot of my time. Sometimes my job isn't set in a particular building. I do construction and the job sites move around. So sometimes I'm working 20 minutes down the road from where I live. Sometimes I'm an hour and a half away. And so it ends up being like I go to work and then I come home and I go to the gym for like an hour and a half. And then I come home and it's 8 o'clock and I eat, and then I sit down and I'm usually doing YouTube things until midnight. And then I wake up at 6 a.m. and go back to work. And anybody who follows my Twitter knows that I'm up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 in the morning, shooting out tweets usually that say, what the hell am I doing up? I got to be at work in 5 hours. But that's what it takes to do what I love. And I love doing YouTube, and I want to keep bringing you guys videos. So, that's kind of why I fell off of not doing the 2 videos a day, is because I was having a very hard time balancing my life at the time between my full-time job and my channel. But now I'm back on track because I've managed to kind of find that balance. Now that I've gotten used to this job, which was a new job that I just started a month ago, or actually 2 months ago now. So that was me finding the balance. But over the course of the last 3 weeks, give or take a few days, it's been 2 videos a day. So I hope that has been really well for you guys, getting content a little bit quicker, because I know 1 video a day was definitely too slow, especially because I had multiple series running. I'd have 4, sometimes 5 series running at a time, which is a little overkill. And for me to do 1 video a day, that means 1 series gets a video once every week or so, which means it could take, a series like EU4, Distant Worlds Universe, Stellaris, could take months and months and months for me to actually get the content out there and finish the series, and it just wasn't working. So the 2 videos a day, that's going to allow me to do is push games through quicker. And now the series aren't going to feel rushed. They're still going to be great series, and they're not going to be rushed. But it'll allow me to push those series through quicker. So that way, you guys can get new series quicker, and then for those of you watching the series, you watch them quicker and get that content quicker. So that should make a huge improvement. I've also actually went through and kind of tweaked how I'm going to do the series on the channel. I don't really talk too much about that, because that's just kind of my own personal how I'm doing things. But I kind of changed the way that I'm going to run the series on the channel, so it won't feel as overbearing. It'll be less series, but with 2 videos a day, they're going to move a lot quicker. So there's still going to be just as much content on the channel. It's just going to, for those of you who come to watch a particular series, it's going to feel like that series is moving a lot quicker, which will be good for the channel. So the other thing I wanted to talk about was the project I built, which was basically a recording booth for me to put inside of my apartment. So I mentioned it at the Quarterly 2 update, and I've talked about it on Twitter several times, how my new apartment, the acoustics of the room are really bad because I've got hardwood flooring, I've got big empty walls and ceilings, I have no curtains, so I have nothing to absorb sound, and you would get this reverb with the mic, and it sounded awful, or at least not as good as it used to sound. So I actually, last weekend or 2 weekends ago, I built like this recording booth that kind of goes around my desk, and it's really cool. And for those of you guys, once again, who follow me on Twitter, you saw me posting pictures all day long of me building this. It took me about 8 hours. And while I'm talking right now, I'll go ahead and put a bunch of the pictures that I had up there so you guys can see it on the video. So that's the project that I built, and it is basically just a bunch of PVC piping and curtains that pull down, but they're like angled, so they have like sharp edges. They're almost like acoustic foam, and it helps actually absorb a lot of the sound because the sound gets trapped in between the wedges and it bounces back and forth. Therefore, it's not coming back and bouncing and hitting your mic and causing reverb. And it actually has made a huge difference. I noticed on my videos I started recording when I didn't have it, and then checking it with the videos I recorded after I had it, there was actually an improvement there. So that's something really cool I built, and I'm actually going to go ahead and probably put a guide together on how I did it and post that maybe on like Reddit and on some other do-it-yourself web pages, because it was a really interesting project, and I don't think I've ever really seen anybody build something like this before. So maybe it could help other people who are interested in building some type of sound booth for anybody who does recording or let's plays or anything like that. So now moving forward, I want to briefly touch on what future series are coming to the channel. You guys know I always like to talk a little bit about what games I want to play, and even though some of them come to fruition and some of them don't, it still gives you an idea where we're going. So obviously, I've been talking a lot about doing Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead again, and that's definitely coming. What I'm basically waiting for right now is just a spot on the channel to open up to where I can start a series with it, because if I start one now, it's just going to be too overwhelming. I've got too many series running right now that starting another one wouldn't be a good idea. So expect that as soon as spots start opening up. Expect Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead to jump in there, and we're going to see how long we can survive in the wasteland of the Cataclysm. So that'll be a lot of fun. That was my first series I ever did on the channel, so it'll be fun to come back to it. Another game I want to cover is Geopolitical Simulator 4, which is basically a game where you can pick any country you want to play as, and you just try to basically just try to run that country. It's literally a political and economical world real-time simulator kind of. It's really cool. It's actually awesome, and it's a lot of fun. If you guys caught my streams, you'll know that I've been playing it here and there on the streams, and it's a good time. So if you have any suggestions for countries you'd like to see me to play, or any particular type of playing as certain countries and trying to accomplish like achievements, like playing as America and conquer the world, playing as North Korea and conquering the world, I don't know, anything like that, playing as Iran and trying to, or Syria or something, and trying to restabilize my country and, I don't know, take over the world, something like that. So just let me know what you guys think about that. But that's a series I definitely want to do on the channel. And then finally, I want to do Aurora 4X. That was a big disappointment for me a couple months ago, as some of you guys might know. I believe it was Darkstar. One of the subscribers on the channel, his name's Darkstar. I'm almost positive it was him. He recommended I do Aurora 4X because I don't even know what I was playing at the time. I think I was playing Empires of Steel. And he was like, hey, this game kind of reminds me of Aurora 4X. It's like Dwarf Fortress in space. And I was like, oh, Dwarf Fortress. I love Dwarf Fortress. So I went and checked out the game, and it was super cool. And I was like, yeah, this is something I definitely would be into. And I went and checked, and I was like, wow, nobody else has really covered this game. And I would love to cover it because I think it would be a lot of fun. I could really bring something exciting to the table for the community of Aurora 4X to watch. And it was going to be a great time. And then I kind of stalled on it because it's a whole lot of game to ingest. There's a lot to learn, and I tried to sit down and learn some of it, but it was very hard to take in. So I realized it was going to take me a while, so I kind of played around with the controls and slowly tried to learn how to play, but it wasn't fast enough. And a bunch of really large YouTubers sniffed the game out, and they made a bunch of series on it, and then everybody made series on it, and now there's plenty of Aurora 4X content to go around for anybody to watch. So then I kind of fell away from it because I was like, well, all these other YouTubers made a video of it. I guess I'll just continue with the other series that people want, and I'll jump back to it in the future once the whole everybody making Aurora 4X videos thing calms down. And now it's calmed down. There's not very many people making Aurora 4X videos anymore. So it used to be like, it was like 30 coming out a day. It was something ridiculous like that. I don't know, like one person catches on to it and then everybody just follows suit. However, it's slowed down now. Nobody's really making videos of it. So I think now would be a good time for me to jump in and make a video of it and not feel so overwhelmed with all these people making videos at the same time I am. And then I can provide something to the Aurora 4X community, as well as making the video because I want to bring it to you guys, to our community, because it's a really awesome game and there's a lot to it. And I think it'd be a lot of fun to play. So I got to sit down and still learn how to play the rest, still kind of learn how to play the game, but that's something we're definitely going to cover. So those are 3 games that I plan on touching on in the future here. So one last thing I want to mention before we sign off here. This has been a really long quarterly update video. Holy crap. The last thing I want to mention is the Project Automata Kickstarter came out. So for those of you who caught me playing Project Automata, I did 3 episodes on the channel, and it's a really cool game. It's basically like if any of you are familiar with Transport Tycoon or OpenTTD, I think it is Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Yeah, that's Project Automata is kind of like a little bit of a spiritual successor to that. It's basically a game where you build factories and manage an industrial empire, harvest material, forge those into goods, sell them to cities, all the great stuff that you find in tycoon games where you manage like a company. And it's really neat. So I covered it on the channel, and they just started their Kickstarter on October 1st, which was yesterday. I looked down at the date there. It was yesterday. So I'll have a link down in the description below if you want to go check out their Kickstarter. They've got a really ambitious game, and they also have an alpha that you can jump in and try for yourself. So I recommend definitely giving it a try. And if it's something you'd be interested in seeing come to fruition, maybe helping support them. So that is it. Finally, that was way more than I wanted it to be, but this was the quarterly updates. I mean, you're taking 3 months worth of stuff and you're cramming it into one video. It's going to be a long video. But I think that even the quarterly updates are still a very nice, it's the best way to do it instead of me doing this every month, just packing all of it into one video every 3 months. And then it's like a Band-Aid, you guys who are interested in watching these can just rip them off real quick, be done with them, and you don't have to worry about it for another 3 months, because these videos are definitely not the most entertaining. But I don't know any other way to get this information to you guys other than making some type of video to get it to you. So for those of you who really are actively engaged in the community and are interested in the direction of the channel, this is literally the best way I could give this information to you. So that is where we stand. One last time, I do want to encourage those of you who do not follow me on Twitter to go ahead and do so, because that's the other way that I can get relevant information to you about the channel without having to make a video about it. So my Twitter isn't just a link dump where I dump. Actually, surprisingly, very rarely do I even post links to my videos. My Twitter is really just a way for me to connect to the community. If you follow me on Twitter right now and message me, or you follow me on Twitter and say, like, tweet me something, I'll respond back and talk to you and be a real person. I use it to communicate with you guys, and I retweet like valuable things that involve strategy gaming, like PC Gamer articles or Explorminate's their articles, or anything, like even in developers who are working on strategy games. I'll retweet their game stuff and all that. It's literally just a hub for like strategy, roguelike, 4X, tycoon gaming. It's not like just a place I poop out a link to my videos and then expect everybody to click on it and watch it. It doesn't work like that. So it really is the only relevant way for me to get on the fly news to you guys, because YouTube does not provide any way for me to, other than making a video like a quarterly update. I have absolutely no way to relay information to you guys. So like, if my house burns down and my computer explodes and I send out a tweet saying I can't make videos for a month because my house burned to the ground, there's no way other than making a video for me to tell you guys that. So following me on Twitter is the best way to do it, until eventually YouTube incorporates their community update that they're doing, which is supposedly going to allow people to actively engage with subscribers, sort of like Twitter, without having to make a video. So that'll be fantastic. So, okay, this video's already gone for way too long. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this quarterly update, Q3 of 2016. Look forward to seeing you guys at the end of Q4, which will be also the end of 2016. And then we'll kind of wrap the whole year up and get ready for a fresh start in 2017 with the channel. So thank you guys very much. I hope you enjoyed this extremely long and boring video, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next quarterly update.